Trina Mosier.
So tonight I want to talk to you about what I believe is the #1 secret to success. In fact, research has shown that this trait is the single most important trait, more than talent, more than your past, more than IQ. And I strongly believe that if we can create this in ourselves, in our teams, your desired outcome for this business will happen. And that is grit. Grit is a combination of passion, perseverance, and an effort to achieve long-term goals. These go together because without passion and perseverance leads to burnout. And without perseverance, we're just gonna simply give up. Characteristics of a gritty individual is perseverance, resilience, courage, passion, and conscientiousness. Grit is living like it's a marathon, not a sprint. Grit is enjoying the journey, the good, the bad, the ugly. Grit is believing that obstacles happen for you, not to you. So let me ask you this. What do you do when things go wrong? Do you moan and groan, vent to your upline, complain, make excuses? Or do you suck it up, grab some grit and determination, and do whatever it takes to move forward? If you want to win, you've got to pick that second option. Need proof? Let's look at some stories. Jim Thorpe, in 1912, he had his shoes stolen on the morning of his Olympic track and field event. Most people would have quit. Most people would have thought, that's an understandable excuse. That's because when people don't have grit and they run into adversity, they can't find a way to get past it, and they throw a pity party. They complain that life isn't fair, the back office isn't good enough, the price increases are ruining things, people are leaving teams, there's too many no's. When you don't have grit, these excuses feel valid. But Jim Thorpe was not going to let missing shoes stop him from his dreams. He went hunting for shoes, found 2 mismatched shoes in a garbage can, and ran the race and finished with 2 gold medals that day. His excuses were not louder than his grit. Let's look at some familiar faces. Diana Thomas. I can tell you firsthand, as one of her uplines, I've seen her face adversity, moments of wanting to quit, pushing and going through the process and the journey that brought her to director. Jess Gillis. We actually joke about, I'm sure Jess has been through it because she's had adversity slap her in her face so many times along her Monet journey. First time getting to MM and having one of her legs leave, getting to SED, the pandemic hitting along with all kinds of personal stuff crumbling all around her. But that's part of her journey. And that's why she is where she is today as Canada's 2nd income earner and multiple award winner. Isabel Sanchez won the CEO award last year, but in 2021, she lost multiple director legs and more than 50% of her business. Instead of pulling back, she dug her feet in even further and is having the most successful year of her career with Monet. So let me tell you about my life before Monet. I'm gonna bring you back to 2015 before Monet, before Trina wasn't so gritty. If you don't know my story, I went to university with scholarships into a sought-after journalism program. I was a creative, life got hard, so I quit. I then found myself in the optical industry from a part-time job, and even though it wasn't my passion, it made sense for me to follow that path and take my optician license. I stayed in the industry for a decade, but during that decade, I changed jobs so many times. Honestly, I don't think I was ever at a job for more than 2 years. And even though I believe part of the reason was that I knew I was made for more, I had no grit. Whenever it got hard or I got bored, I would quit and move on. It was actually the number one feedback that I would get on my annual review. I don't push hard through things. I let the hard things get to me. In fact, when my husband lost his job, which essentially was the stepping stone that made me join Monat, I actually quit my current job again and joined another one. Something else got hard. Anytime anything was hard, it was almost like it was fulfilling to me to change directions. Now, fast forward to my first year at Monat. Who has heard the phrase, we're a personal development company disguised as a shampoo company? Yeah. I truly believe one of the biggest gifts of this industry is the person you will grow into each and every year. I developed a passion to learn resilience, courage, perseverance. It was important to me to go through the journey of becoming the leader I needed to be in order to get my desired outcome in this business. And guess what? I'm still not there, because I'm finding joy in the journey, not just happiness in the outcome. They say the difference between happiness and joy is that happiness is, I'll be happy when I get that goal. I'll be happy when I quit my 9 to 5. I'll be happy when I get to director. But there's no aha moment when you get to those goals. That's why it's important to find joy in the journey. Joy is enjoying the process of the doing. If we can get it out of our mind that there is a finish line and enjoy the marathon, if we can enjoy the process along the way, I find that you don't even reach lower levels than if you chase the happiness. You actually reach the same levels or more, and you have a damn good time along the way. In 2018-19, my business dropped 70%, but I had grit. When the people of, I'm here for a short time, not a long time, during the pandemic, all left and my business dropped again, it didn't faze me. I was enjoying the process of this business. Whenever you feel an excuse coming on, I guarantee you that is the reason, and that is the reason inside that excuse that you need to keep going. So, what you think creates success? The big following or going viral, the right comp plan, finding that unicorn, an outgoing personality, expert or talent? It isn't. So when you try and copy the Isabels or Dianas or Jesses of social media, thinking if I just had their following or if I just had their talent, I'd be where they were. Well, for one, this is your journey and you will find zero joy in following someone else's. Secondly, you can't copy what got them successful because they have grit. And that is not something you can copy off of social media. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, not just after Monations, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. When you leave here this weekend, you're gonna be excited. You're gonna be motivated, you're gonna be ready to level up, and then you're gonna get home, and life happens. And that's the part of the journey where the grit needs to set in. That's where the hard sets in. Motivation only gets you 20%. If you don't have a passion that outweighs the grit, you're gonna quit. Guys, the grit is the journey. If you're only finding happiness in the outcome, you'll stop working. I see so many market partners do this after big events, or even the excitement after the president's message. They hover over that 20% motivation. Back and forth. They get motivated, they fall back. They get motivated, they fall back. And then they wonder why they're so stuck for so long. So, what does enjoying the journey and grit have to do with each other? Yes, we all have a passion to get to our goals, and we have a passion for our why. Our why is why we join this business and what we want out of it. But if you have a lack of motivation and you're not enjoying the journey, how in the heck do you stay consistent during the grit, during the hard? It's in your process-oriented why, and that is what creates grit. If I asked you why is it important to you to quit your 9 to 5, you could give me all kinds of reasons. That's your desired outcome why. It's why you joined. But we need to have a passion in the grit and in the journey, and that is our process-oriented why. Most people lack good reasons on why they need to be process-oriented. So ask yourself this: why is it important to me that I am someone who shows up in my business, even on non-winning days, follows through, prioritizes customer service, ongoing recruitment? Do you have as many reasons for your process as you do for your outcome? If not, what will happen is your excuses will outweigh your outcome every time. During the journey, we need to be willing to be wrong, to fail, to rebuild, to start over again with lessons along the way. Even with the best systems in place, the best runners on our team, all the preparation in the world, things will go wrong. You will have people quit. The economy will always be changing. Errors will happen. People will bash you, our product, the industry. You may even have your running shoes stolen before your Olympic event, just like Jim Thorpe did. But if you're willing to fight for your goals and dreams and embrace the journey and have an attitude and willingness to get gritty during the hard, that will determine whether you have success or failure. Our goal is to create excitement and passion. And guys, this doesn't happen to you. It's something you create. Some of you say, I just haven't felt the desire in my business in a long time. I don't have that passion anymore. Well, good news, you can create it. I tell my team all the time, don't wait for the energy fairy to show up. If you don't stay close to the fire, if you don't keep stoking that fire, the fire will go out. How many of you know someone who stopped going to events, coming to training calls, stopped showing up, and they say the reason that they did is because they just lost the passion for their business. They were sitting around waiting for the energy fairy to show up. You create the excitement, the desire, and the passion. If you want to win big, get addicted to the process. Enjoy the journey. Reward along the way. When I got my first 200K DV, we celebrated with a Dairy Queen cake. When I got to MFB, I bought my first purse over $100. Show gratitude. Be grateful for where you are. Be grateful for where you're going. Have a desire to keep on learning. The more you grow yourself, the more you'll grow your business. Aim so that you can't recognize yourself a year from now. Push yourself every day to become the best possible version of yourself. You'll build a business that can weather any storm, live the life you want, and be able to handle any obstacle to win that gold. Get up on your feet. Get up on your feet. Look to the person and say, let's get gritty with it. Get gritty with it. Woo!